Oh, it feels good to be back. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Driving Drive Podcast, Season 2, Episode number 21. This is the first actual podcast I have filmed since the 1st of January. Since New Year. It is like June, the middle of June. Anyways, before we get into today's video, I just want to say I'm sorry for making y'all wait so long. We're shooting this episode at 6:30 in the morning. On Monday, it comes out in 5.5 hours. So we have to film it, and I have to edit it, and I have to upload it. Because I also have to go to work today. So at like 7:30 or 8 a.m. So getting that done. But without further ado, check out the Instagram, check out everything else. I realized when I edited last week's video that a very special person isn't in the old intro, and so I had to re-edit it and put him in the new intro. So, without further ado, roll the new intro. Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the Driving Drive Podcast, where the mic's the face. And Brady Faker. Welcome back to the Driving Drive Podcast with Mike's Fate.
And I'm very tired.
And this is the very special person that wasn't in the original intro. Because when I first edited that video, me and him hadn't done a video together. But now,
at that point, yeah.
We had not done a video when I edited that first intro. So, now that he has a couple under his belt, and I can tell that he is committed to doing this because, one, he shot multiple with me when we drove 5 hours to Kansas and back. He filmed one at like 1 in the morning on New Year's.
And now it is 6:30 in the morning.
And now it's 6:30
before work.
And this man showed up
and I'm here
earlier than I told him to, just to come.
You're welcome.
We do this for you guys, or all 4 of you guys watching.
Oh god.
Road to 100 is something I think I said when we drove to Kansas. I was like, we gotta get to 100 before we get to anywhere else.
Yeah.
So we're on the road to 100 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button over there or wherever the heck it's at. But a lot has happened in 6 months.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I went back and looked. The last podcast we posted, before I posted the rest of me and Brady's trip to Kansas, was January 18th. That's the last podcast. That was when we drove to Kansas. I posted those when we got home. And a lot has changed.
Yeah. That's been kind of a wild first 6 months of the year.
I turned 20 in March.
We were in Texas for
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, we moved to Texas for 3 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
We lived together. This set
has not moved.
Hasn't moved. It has sat vacant essentially for like the last 7 months. Because I don't even remember the last episode we even filmed, or I even filmed on this. I filmed the intro to episode 18, or no, 19. Tell you guys we were back. But yeah, we both went to Texas. Both made a lot of money.
It's gone.
It's all gone.
It's gone, help me.
I still have Smoke, somehow. Even though I've said I'm getting rid of him a million times, I still have him. As of this moment. That could change this week or the next week. Don't know yet. I did, however, buy another vehicle. I haven't announced it anywhere, so I'm not really going to say anything. Because I've had it for a while, and I haven't said anything anywhere on any social media platform. So
I have, so.
Huh?
I have said what I bought on my YouTube. So.
Oh, yeah. So we'll get into his, but just, I will say something this week so I can say something next week. But Brady, why don't you go ahead and tell the fans what you bought with your money and why you have no money left?
I have no money because I'm married.
And has children.
And I have kids.
I live in my father's basement.
He has money because he lives in his father's basement. But yeah, I bought a 1968 Ford Mustang Coupe.
Insert picture
Ta-da!
This is Bonnie.
Yes. For those of you that
know,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Multiple reasons, actually, why it's called
You can
that.
think of several things, but
So,
the main thing should be very obvious with that name.
If you're of age.
Yeah,
anyway.
if you're of age and a male.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It really hasn't been that terrible working on that car. Like,
No, but it should have been running and driving a month ago.
well, technically it was.
Technically
It was.
Brady made it not running it. Well, he bought it not running and driving. He made it running and driving, and then made it not running and driving again.
Well, there was a reason for that. But,
he should have just bought an exhaust manifold.
No, that would have been another $400 or $500.
He would have been driving the car for the last 3 weeks.
No, I doubt that. That still wouldn't have been driving it that much. Because brakes, and rear end still would have had to have done that. But,
it stopped.
Yeah. It was sketch.
If
Front drum brakes.
If you want to see this man working on that car and me show up sometimes, because I'm gonna be honest,
and he'd be my cameraman.
every time he works on it, I'm always somewhere not there for some reason. So don't know what that's about. And then I texted him, I'm like, hey, are you working on it? He said, yeah. And I'm like, too bad, I'm already in the shower or something. But if you want to see him, go check out his channel if I can find out a way to link it in the description, because I'm an idiot.
It's really easy.
I say I'm new to this. Meanwhile, I've been doing it for like 2.5 years. I just never really learned how to do it. I can link my own channel in the description.
Because that makes sense, right?
Right. I can link my own channel in the description. Can't link anybody else's. So if I can figure out how to do it, it'll be in the description below. If not, it's called what again?
Melman's Mechanical Macabre.
Oh. Yes. Melman's Mechanical Macabre.
Because giraffe.
Because giraffe. The last thing we filmed.
New Year's. At my house.
At your house. I drank 9 Mountain Dews by myself.
And I drank 7 adult drinks.
We filmed at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Almost lost a lot of footage. I ran out of storage on my phone. We finished at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I packed up these seats, these mic stands, these mics, the tripod you guys are sitting on. Packed it all up at 2:30 in the morning and came home.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. And I went straight to bed.
And I don't even remember the day after that.
I don't either. I just remember that day. Or that morning or evening, whatever you want to call it.
I literally don't. I don't remember what I did on New Year's. Not a clue. But I do remember us, we went to Buc-ee's on our way home from Kansas and lost you in the Buc-ee's. The first time I've ever been to Buc-ee's.
I love Buc-ee's.
I literally...
If you haven't been to a Buc-ee's, you are so missing out.
I made a video, so if I haven't posted it as a short, I'll post it now. But I think I posted it. I have the video of me losing this guy in, the first time I've ever been there, and I turned around and he was gone. I was like, how do I lose?
How you lose a 6'4" giraffe, but...
Yeah. How do I lose a dude wearing cargo pants?
Literally the same thing every day, pretty much.
Essentially. I was like, I literally didn't know how I lost it, but then we moved to Texas, and there was literally a Buc-ee's right down the road.
Yeah.
So we went to Buc-ee's and got brisket and things.
Oh God, Rocky's brisket.
It sounds so good right now.
I love
doesn't it?
Rocky's brisket right now. It's so good.
And honestly, I will say this: I lived with this man for essentially 3 months, 2.5, whatever. And then for the other 2 weeks, I lived by myself in a camper. I much rather I spent a lot of time with this man, a lot of time, because we woke up, we rode to work together, we worked together, we would ride home together, and then we lived together.
Mm-hmm.
So we were almost always together. It got to the point where people just thought we were brothers.
Essentially.
And we were just like, cool.
Sure, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter anymore. So we just went with it. And did we get sick and tired of each other?
Oh God, yes.
Yes. But I would much rather have lived with him than stay in that camper by myself. Was it nice to have some alone time by myself? Yes. Was I also bored out of my mind? Bored out of my mind for 2 weeks straight? Yeah. I literally would come home from work and I'm just like, cool. I'm gonna go watch Smokey and the Bandit for the 6th time this week and hope I get some signal in the morning when I wake up.
I would just watch movies.
That's literally it. Because the trailer park we stayed at, or the camper park, whatever you want to call it, didn't have Wi-Fi, and the signal was intermittent.
Spotty.
Like, literally, sometimes you would have full bars, 5G, and then literally 4 minutes later, you'd have nothing. And I was like, oh, cool.
My phone didn't really do that, but, I mean...
Mine did.
Yeah.
For like the first 4 days, my phone would be completely
Usually,
nothing, or just 5G. There was no in between.
Always had it, like, it would always stay the same pretty much. It was like 3 bars of 4G LTE. That was about it.
Mine was so weird. It either had everything or I had nothing, and I was like, "Oh, I can't receive. I can't receive phone calls." That's lit.
I think that's great.
I think I put my phone into airplane mode and would turn it on and off like 8 times a night just to like check my messages, because I don't know why. No one texts me or talks to me. The only person that would have talked to me is this guy.
Yeah.
And then it fixed it. I left. I left. I guess I could tell you guys about that. I flew to Chicago, which this time going to Chicago was a little better, because the first time I ever flew to Chicago was when I flew from St. Louis to Chicago to go to Golden State, and I landed in Chicago and it was raining and we couldn't see the tarmac, and we missed the first landing and had to come back in the air and turn around and go try again. So a flight that would have taken the flight that would have taken 45 minutes took us like an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah. And then we landed in the pouring rain, and I was like, oh, this is what Chicago looks like. Cool. Well, this time I went, it wasn't like that. It was actually really nice. Like, they call it the Windy City for a reason. Went and watched my stepmom Heather become a doctor out in Chicago, because that's where her graduation was. Very odd place. But I got to see a lot of cool stuff. I got to watch the Battle of Chicago. I got to walk down the street that Optimus Prime shot Megatron on. I drove past the Trump Tower. I went to the Bean.
The Bean.
The Bean.
The Bean.
I got to look at the building that Megatron stood on top of, and Sentinel Prime, all of them.
Such a nerd.
And then, so I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, left my camper at 3 a.m., drove to Austin, Texas, which is like, drove to Austin, Texas was like an hour, was almost late for my flight. I made it. I was just worried about security, because when I got to the airport, I had to my flight was boarding in 20 something minutes, and I had just gotten to the airport, and the line for security was not short. So I get on the plane, everything's fine. I sat next to a dude who literally waited for me to board the plane, and the second I boarded the plane, he literally put his jacket over his head, just sat like this the whole plane ride, didn't move. I fell asleep and woke up, he had not moved. He literally put his jacket over his head before the door shut to the airplane. And he was asleep. But people were still boarding this plane, and he was asleep. And I was like, "Oh, that's
dude's flown on some planes, obviously.
That guy knows what he's doing."
Not anybody can do that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you that. I can do that.
But about give or take, and we flew from Austin, Texas, all the way to Chicago. I made one trip straight across. It was like 2 hours, I think, maybe. I don't know. About 30 minutes into this flight, I had to pee really bad. This guy was sleeping. I was in the back corner, like the backest right corner. Like if there was one seat to its lonesome, it was that seat. I was in the back right corner of the plane. I had to pee. The guy next to me is sleeping, and the girl next to him is doing like business work on her Mac, and has her headphones in, is like going to town, just like. And I'm like, I can hold it, I think. We start coming down, and as we're coming down, like, I have to pee. Like, it's been an hour and a half now, and I am cooking my insides. And I'm like, I gotta go. Well, we land on the Carmichael, and then we sit there for 15 minutes. Don't move. We, like, land, pull off the runway, and just sit there for, like, 15 minutes. And I have to go, but I can't unbuckle. Like, I would tell these people to move, but I can't. Then we pull up, like, we gate, and everyone starts offboarding. Because I landed so early in the morning, everyone was taking their sweet time getting off this plane. It took us 45 minutes to deboard this plane, and I just sat there. And so I'm sitting there, and about 20 minutes in, this dude, by the way, people at the front of this plane are deboarding. This dude is still asleep with his jacket over his head. And this girl still typing away on her MacBook. And I was like,
not a care in the world.
They're like, they knew. Like, these people have done this. This is like my 4th flight ever. And I'm like sitting here. Well, I've had to pee for like the last hour and a half, 2 hours. So I typed this man on the shoulder. I'm like, dude, can you please move? Like, I gotta pee. I'm so sorry. Like, I can't hold it anymore. Like, I've been holding it the duration of this flight. I can't. I gotta go. So I get both of them to move. I let one rip in this bathroom while we're on the Carmichael. Like, this plane, I should not be in this bathroom right now. Like, we are parked. I'm not going anywhere. Let it rip, and I come out of the bathroom, and the flight attendant just looks at me. She's like, really, dude? Really? And I was like, what?
I'm sorry.
And I just stood there because my row was literally, like, the bathroom door's here. My row is literally where Brady is sitting. Like, she's back on her MacBook. She sat back down, got back on her MacBook. Don't blame her. So I just stood there behind her for like 15 minutes, waited for everyone to unboard. I let them two go. I was literally like the second to last person off this airplane when it comes to passengers. The only people behind me were the captains and the flight attendants.
Yeah,
I was like,
see, that's why if you're in the very back of the plane, and that you hear the ding for unbuckle your seatbelt, you get out of your chair, grab and go to the front.
Yeah, so did that, ordered an Ubered into Chicago, which is like 45 minutes from the airport to even just get into Chicago. So I had to Uber there, spent the day in Chicago, it was a great day, right? We're at dinner. What time did my flight leave? My flight left at, I don't know, I'm just going to say my flight left at 9 o'clock, give or take. Originally, I'll get there. Throughout the day, so I had the American Airlines app on my phone. Throughout the day, my gate changed a lot. Like, a lot. I was like, oh, that's cool. So it changed once, it changed twice. I was like, Heather's like, yeah, that happens sometimes. I'm like, cool, whatever. My flight leaves at 9 o'clock. At 6:30, we went to dinner. At 7:30, we were at dinner. At 7:45, I was getting kind of worried because we were still at dinner, and I still had to go back to the hotel, and I still had to get my stuff, and I still had to Uber to the airport, get through security, and get to my gate. My flight left at 9 o'clock. It's 7:45. It's 45 or 50 minutes to the airport, not including traffic. And I have not gone back to the hotel 4 blocks away.
You're cooked.
I was like, I'm missing my plane, right? We get in this cab, or we get in this Uber, and my dad's like, can you take us here fast? And the Uber's like, got you. Takes off, right? We literally get to the hotel, and the second we get to the hotel and get out of this Uber, my dad orders me another Uber to Uber from the hotel to the airport, right? I run upstairs, grab my bags, I didn't even change, which sucks. I didn't have time. I was still in my jeans and my nice t-shirt. I flew home in my jeans and t-shirt. It sucked. Ran upstairs, grabbed my stuff, came back down, got in this Uber, and I'm like, okay, I might make it. Flight leaves at 9. It's like 8:05. And I'm like,
push it.
We literally touch, like, we get to the highway. We get to the highway. It is nothing but stop and go traffic. Like, terrible. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. The Uber says it's gonna get there at 8:55. My flight leaves at 9 o'clock. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not making this flight.
You can't go through TSA in 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna say my Uber driver was Dale Earnhardt Sr. and he got me to the airport at like 8:30. And I kid you not.
Gotta go fast.
But while I was in my Uber, dust storm just absolutely obliterates Chicago, right?
Typical.
Video here, I have evidence. If I can edit it in before I go to work. If not, it'll be in a later edited version of this video. And as you can see out the window, there is stop and go traffic, and my guy's just flying past all of it, right? This guy was doing his all. And so, pull up to the airport, right? And while I'm in the Uber, my flight gets delayed. I was like, cool, I have some time. It got delayed by like 30 minutes. I was like, cool, I can relax. Because this whole time I'm in this Uber, I'm stressing. I'm literally, I was stressing so much the back of my knees were sweating. And it takes some might to do that. Get to the airport, get through security, get inside, walking to my gate, get a ding on my phone. Gate changes. I'm like, my flight leaves in 15 minutes. They're changing gates. What's happening? Whatever, right? Walk to that gate. Get to the gate.
Ding.
And the gate says, unboarding for Los Angeles. I'm like, what? And they're unloading this massive flight from a flight that just landed from Los Angeles. And I'm like, my flight leaves in 10 minutes. They're just now.
Where's my plane?
So, and me and a bunch of other people, the other people on this plane,
are obviously confused.
So we're sitting in the terminal, and when I tell you 25 people, because there weren't very many people on my plane back to Austin, let alone it being midnight. When I tell you 25 people sitting in this terminal all got the same buzz or notification on their phone, and we all sighed, picked up our bags in unison, and walked to the next terminal, because this was the 6th time our gate was changed, and the 3rd or 4th time our flight was delayed. So we all sighed in unison and walked to the back corner of the Austin airport, where literally they put us in the last terminal in the back corner with one bench, one singular bench in this whole terminal, because the terminal next to it was a flight in a freaking Airbus going to London. There was like 200 people over here, and there was us.
There's like 20 of you over here.
Flight got delayed another hour, right? So we sit in this terminal for an hour.
Welcome to Chicago, population death storm.
Finally get a plane, finally get a crew, finally get on this plane. We pull on the tarmac. We then sit there for like 20 minutes because we gotta wait for other planes to take off. We take off, whatever. Land takes us another 30 minutes after we even land to get off this plane. And there's no one on this plane. When I tell you there's no one on this plane, there's no one in the 2 rows ahead of me. There's no one in the row across from me. There's no one in this row, and there's no one in that row, and there's no one behind me. But somehow I have someone in seat 28C over here next to me, and I'm sitting in the window seat, right? Also, when we landed, I almost threw up. Didn't want to. But we land in Austin, and I'm walking around, and I'm like,
where did I park my car?
I remember where I parked my car, and I remembered what parking lot it was in. I didn't know how to get there. So I walk up to this random bus, because like, there's no one in this airport. When I tell you this airport was empty, the only people there was the people off my flight. Like,
and the people working.
And the people working, the people cleaning. Because it was like, it was 2 in the morning. No, it was 1 in the morning.
1:30.
It was 1 in the morning because I made a 23-hour round trip. I got back to the camper at 2. It was 1 in the morning. I'm walking through the Austin airport. It's literally just the people that got off the plane and the workers. Like, there are no other terminals open right now. Like, there's literally no other terminal. We were the only people there. Very odd. Very zombie-like. So I walk outside, and I don't know how to get to... I can literally open the map, and literally my car, from where I was standing at the front door, my car is literally straight, like a mile away from me. If I could have walked, I would have. So I just walk up to this random bus, and I'm like, where are you going? He said, where do you need to go? And I said, I need to go here. And he was like, dog, I got you. Because the only other people on this bus was a family from, like, out of the country. Or whatever.
Hop on.
And he was like, I got you. I'll take you. So he drops me off. I walk to my car. I also have a video of that. And don't know if I'll put it in. But I was walking through this parking lot at 1 in the morning in the Austin airport. And it was so quiet that I was scared. I was like, I said, someone's going to pop out from behind a car. I just know it. I know they are. There's no way they're not going to. I'm like, I'm going to die. Land, drive back to Austin at like 1:30 in the morning. Almost getting a car wreck because I'm driving. It's a 4-lane highway split by a giant grass median. 20-foot grass median. I'm in this far right lane. I'm driving and I'm like, I see headlights, which is completely normal. There's a highway on the other side of the road. And I see headlights and I'm like, those headlights are really big. Those headlights are really close.
Really bright.
Those are some really bright headlights. And so I'm like driving. And about a quarter mile away, I realize this guy is on the wrong side of the highway. He's on my side of the highway. I'm tired. I'm also scared. I have to go to work in like 3 hours. I have to wake up for work in 2 hours. And I'm literally driving, and this guy is driving at me. And I was like, So I literally slow down to 40 mile an hour, and I pull off like all the way to the shoulder, and I start flecking my high beams at him. I'm like, you're on the wrong side of the road. Wrong side of the road. This is not a 2-lane.
You're an idiot.
And he has the audacity to flash his lights back on me, and he just drives past me. Let alone all the way on the other side of the road. And I was like...
Texas drivers are something else.
So I literally just sit there. I don't think I went over 40 for like another 5 minutes, and then I was like, shit, I gotta get back to the...
I gotta get back, man. I'm tired.
So I did, legibly, the speed limit on the way home. Allegedly, I did the speed limit on the way home. Got back to the camper, 23-hour round trip to Texas. Woke up and went to work the very next morning.
Yeah, I got to his camper, and I was like, what's up, man? Like, how was your night?
Tired, hungry.
And then, he was like, I've slept for like an hour. I
got like 1 hour's sleep. I slept in the car on the way to work. I slept first break, I slept second break, and I slept third break, and then I came home and slept some more.
Yeah. He was very done that day.
Oh. Like done. It didn't help that my car needed gas, but I was not kidding.
Yeah,
I was like,
me
I'm
and him
going.
both were like, yeah, no, we'll get it in the morning. And it's like 30 miles left.
I said, I'm going.
No, it'll
home.
make it. It's fine.
I
You
said,
gotta
I'm
believe.
going home.
Dude, we gotta get gas. We only have 30 miles to eat. No, don't care. It'll make it. Believe. Have faith.
We did it multiple times. Don't worry. That car gets, which it having about 30 miles till empty, which means it only had like a gallon of gas on it. Because that car gets like 28, 9, depending on how you drive it. And it having like 30 miles left is like, oh, you have 1.3 gallons of gas left. Like that, you don't have
Essentially.
you have no gas left, dude.
It's like, you ain't got no gas in it. Need to go get gas. But
Yeah.
we never did.
No,
Usually. Even though, you know, it's like, it's not like we're broke. But it's like, nah, I don't want to stop for gas.
Smoke did start getting tanks of premium in him just to, you know, clean out the system. I don't even know what it does. It acts zero different. So
Technically, they're supposed to run on 93, but
whatever.
you don't have to, obviously.
In other news, there's not really a whole lot that's changed actually in like the last 6 months.
I mean, other than me buying a Mustang.
And what happened
The
yesterday?
first gen Mustang.
What happened yesterday? End of an era.
End of an era. If any of you that watch AJ's channels, does he has 4 or 5?
3. I have 3.
Whatever.
But one of them is basically
But,
desolate. Have a post on it over a year.
If you watch my channel, obviously you know about the Blazer. Well, the Blazer has gone bye-bye for the foreseeable future and possibly forever. It really just depends on what they do with it. Because obviously, I wouldn't give it to somebody I didn't know. So I know where it is. And I can go, you know,
Look at it.
I can go look at it and use it kind of whenever until they start tearing it apart. But, yeah, end of an era, sadly. But, on to bigger and better things.
He now drives something we can't say on camera just because it's some words that are mixed together, but it is a Ford Focus
Yes.
that we replaced the O with a U.
Yeah.
in Focus. So now
Easy.
Focus has 2 U's in it now. So I'll put it on the screen. This is how we spell it. Say it as you will. You'll understand.
Or you can just bleep it out.
Yeah. But I don't want to do that. Too much editing at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, that's about it. I drive the Focus.
Actually has a daily now.
Yeah, that gets incredibly awesome gas mileage.
Not, what, 6?
It's 35 instead of 7. I'll take it. I miss that car so much.
If anyone knows of any 4-lug wheels that'll fit on a Ford Focus,
4x100s.
yeah, send it to the.
Yeah, send them.
Send it in the. Go message the Instagram. That's where you can leave it. Go leave it on the Instagram.
Send me some wheels.
If you happen to have like a pair of like, I don't know, bright gold BBSs. Dude,
Snowflakes, bright gold BBS snowflakes.
yeah, that'd be lit. But
Not the snowflakes, but the snowflakes. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
you got it. We're gonna pimp that thing out, even though it's a 4-cylinder automatic.
Of all things.
Grandma Ford Focus.
I really wish.
Literally
it was
great.
manual.
Literally great grandma
Literally
Focus.
grandma Ford Focus.
It's the base models you get.
I was in that car when it hit 90, 100, 110, 120, and 130,000 miles.
And now he owns it.
So now I own it. So
Like for the second time.
the second time.
But yeah.
But I need to go to work
I need to edit this video as fast as I can
before he goes to work.
before I go to work. Well, Brady, I appreciate you doing this.
You're welcome.
Thank you. What? You know, if you woke up and you weren't coming here, you were just gonna sit on your freaking computer.
Yeah, I was. That or just sleep until I literally had to get up. One of the two.
Exactly. So.
And I'm telling you, if I wouldn't have woke up the way I did, I would not be here.
Oh, I know. He showed up early, and I'm proud of him. As you guys seen, new intro, back to the podcast, back to posting. Brady's back, and he's probably gonna be the co-host for the foreseeable future. Might have some Tanner on.
Hey.
Might have Boo on. Might have
all of us.
Hey, dude, that'd be a lit
That would
podcast.
be lit. That'd be freaking lit. We need to do that.
It'd be a full show podcast. We get the couch in here. Put all of y'all on the couch.
Get AJ's casting couch in here.
They can see it. That's the original podcast couch. And
we get AJ's casting couch, and we just get everybody in the same room. And
I will literally move this chair and move this couch inward, and I will sit here, and I will have all of you guys sit there.
that would be lit.
That would be lit. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is a video YouTube thinks you should watch, and this is the subscribe button.
This is a video I think you should watch.
Yeah, and this is the subscribe button, and smash it.
Smash it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Deuces. First episode since New Year's.
Hey.
Hey.
6 months